Hi, I'm Em, and this is the Knit You Up podcast. Hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Em, a knitter and pattern designer living in British Columbia, Canada, and this is my cozy little corner of the internet where I talk all things knitting, pattern designing, well, sometimes pattern designing, primarily knitting, but also whatever craft I'm into at the moment. It's been a little while. October and November were sucky months. That's all I'll say. Let's get into it. It's time for a big catch up. Some of the stuff that I've been working on, I can't actually show you yet. Sorry. Apart from that, let's just, I guess, dive right in. I have a few finished objects, and I'll start with the most exciting. I finished the second sample of my brisée shawl, which is my newest pattern, launching in December, so I guess later this month by the time the video goes up. At the time of filming this video, I'm aiming for a release date of December, I think 17th is the goal. And I mean, just look at that. This is glorious. I'll be showing more photos of this shawl over on Instagram because we did a whole photo shoot, of course. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. And it's so big and cozy and squishy. I just love it. I would like hold it up and show it on, but I don't want to disrupt the camera. So this one is 2 different yarn dyers. The bluish one is by Copper Spoon Dye Company, I think. And it's a color called Rupal, and I picked it up on Salt Spring Island this summer. And then the reddish color over here is a skein from Life in the Long Grass. They're a dyer out of Ireland. And I bought it in Calgary like 2 years ago with no plan. I think it was just waiting for Rupal. I think it was destined to be this. And then there's this one little bit where the yarn gets really, really light. And that is because I misread the label on Life in the Long Grass, and I was 20 yards short of where I needed to be. So I did have to substitute in some yarn. I used the color Rhubarb from Midknit Cravings. And yeah, just used the last like 20 yards just to do those decreases. So, you know, it's unfortunate that it doesn't really match the rest of it, but what can you do? I got the closest match possible, so I'm still super happy with it. I doubt anybody's gonna notice it while I'm wearing it. All finished up. At the time of filming, we're approaching the end of the test knit, and I have loved seeing everybody's versions. It's amazing to see people knit my patterns. Like, I still can't get over the fact that people want to, which is the, you know, imposter syndrome in my head. But yeah, so I'm really excited for release day. Again, I'm aiming for about December 15th. Keep your eye on Instagram for up-to-date information. And I did a thing this time. While I was knitting up my second sample, I kind of filmed little bits and pieces so I can put it all together into like a design with me kind of vloggy thing. And if you guys like it, I will continue doing that for all of my, well, not all of my designs, I won't say that, but I will continue to do it with my designs because I don't talk about them in advance, just because I get too anxious then and then I can't complete them. But I still want to bring you guys into the process and like show you all of the thought and the work that goes into it. And I guess I'll also be calling myself out for how many mistakes I make, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, so this is the most exciting finished object. And it's It's just glorious. I love it so much. Next up, we're still in shawl land because can't stop, won't stop with the Simple Thing shawl. I just keep making them with the same modifications that I did to my original. So slower rate of increase and decrease. And I've been knitting them up out of stash scraps. So this is one of them. This is knit with Lavender Fiber Co. sock yarn in the color green tea, held with Drops Kid Silk mohair, just in like the white or off-white or whatever it's called. Don't have the band anymore, so I don't know. But that mohair is left over from the shawl that I knit for my friend's wedding a couple years ago. So that one's all finished up. I really like how the colors turned out. Like there's this really light variegation throughout the green tea colorway, and I think it just adds the perfect amount of interest for a staple piece. So that one is all finished up and just waiting to be blocked. I love rolling them into little croissants. It's so cute. And then yes, I also have another one. This one is very kind of wintry, Christmassy vibes. This is remaining Knitting for Olive Merino in Red Currant, held together with Crystal Palace yarns in, I think it's just red, or it might be lipstick red or something. And you know, I forgot. I was gonna say, I've been on a red kick since I knit my friend's hood. I didn't tell you about my friend's hood. I knew I was missing a finished object. A really exciting finished object. But we'll talk about that after this. But yes, so I knit another red project before this, and it has put me on a major red knitting kick. I can't get enough, and you'll see in my whips as well that I still cannot get enough. So yep, same. Just a cute little yarny croissant. Okay, so now the one that I kind of forgot. I was going to tell you in advance of that shawl because it's what inspired me to knit this one. But I knit a hood for my friend for her birthday. I don't have it with me. I'll put up a photo. So I used the Simple Thing shawl with my modifications as like the base, like the arms of the shawl basically. And then I just winged the hood. I just kind of looked at, it's very inspired by the Sophie hood, but I don't really want to buy petite knit patterns. So I just had a look at like people's finished objects and then just kind of made it up, and it worked out pretty well. I'm happy with how it turned out. I did play a bit of yarn chicken, even though I was really, really careful about weighing my skeins. So I did have to borrow, luckily my partner had bought some sock yarn in the same colorway, so I just stole a little bit of yardage from that, held it double, finished it up. It was great. So ooh, let me grab that actually, I can show you. It's a very messy cake now because I was drawing from the outside and the inside, so just ignore that. But this is Punch a Fascist by Fiber Goddess. We picked it up at Knit City, Vancouver just this past autumn. I got 2 skeins in DK for my friend's hood, and then my partner got 1 skein of sock yarn so I can knit him some socks. So thankfully I did have like a perfect match to just finish it up. So DK weight, Punch a Fascist, and then I held it with Drops Kid Silk in Red Hot, which I was looking for something that honored the absolute fluorescence of this red. Like, it is so beautifully bright and, true to its name, punchy, that I didn't want to get like a a subdued red. So this was the best one that I found based on looking online. And it was a pretty good match. It's slightly more orange toned than Punch Fascist, but it still worked out really, really well. There's a beautiful halo to it. And my friend loves it. And that's the main thing. And it was an excellent surprise for her. She had been asking if I would knit her a hood if she bought the yarn. And I kept putting her off. I was like, oh, I'm so busy with other knits. Like, I will, it'll just have to wait. Like, it might be in the new year. She was like, that's fine, I can wait. And then I surprised her at the end of October with the hood. So that made my heart really warm to see her so excited about it. So yeah, that was my winged Sophie Hood-esque hood. That's kind of all the information I have on it. There is a whole process reel of me knitting that hood on Instagram now, so you can go check that out. And then I guess let's move on to whips. Okay, my first whip is kind of on hold just at the moment. You can see it's on hold. I needed the needles for something else. This is the Theresia cardigan, Theresia cardigan, and it's got a sort of, I think this is European shoulder construction. So you knit the back and then you pick up for the front and then it turns into like a set-in sleeve. I don't know if you're able to see that. And then it's got beautiful little cables going down the front of the button placket area. The cardigan is made to have like little teeny tiny pearl buttons and like have a little gap down the front. I'm gonna modify that. I'm gonna put in an actual button band to make it just more wearable for me. And I finally dug into these beautiful blue skeins, which are from Pigment and Ply. This is Fenweed? I don't know, but it's from the Witcher collection many years ago. And I have 3 skeins of it, and I was just saving it for the right project. Like, I just knew I couldn't let this glorious blue go. And finally inspiration hit, and I got a decent way through this cardigan before I had to put it down. I just have some projects that need to be finished more immediately than this cardigan. So it is currently just on hold. I've really enjoyed the process so far. It was really cool to do this new shoulder and front shaping. That's kind of upside down, but it's easier to show you this way. But yeah, really cool to learn that, really enjoying it. The one thing that does kind of annoy me, and this happens with a lot of really vibrant, darker yarns, I find, there is a little bit of crocking. So my hands do end up slightly blue after working on this, but it washes out really well, and it hasn't like transferred to any clothing or anything. It's literally just on my hands. And I feel like once it gets a good block, it will stop transferring as well. So yeah, can't wait to get back into that one, but that'll probably be a January pickup, just because, again, I have so much that I want to do in the month of December, and I want them done by specific times, and this will just have to wait its turn. But it'll be a beautiful, beautiful project to work on in the new year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really glad that I got it going, because it'll be really easy to just pick up from where I left off. Next up is a new old whip. I'll explain why. A few years ago, I knit a sweater as a gift knit. I'll pop a picture up here. It was a Paloma, which is by Espace Tricot. And I used Fiberco Meadow, if I remember correctly, and then De Rerum Natura in Berenice, which is a mohair. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful knit. My short rows were impeccable. It was just, it blocked out way too big. It was too big to begin with. My gauge was kind of off. and the recipient wore it a couple times to make me happy, but clearly it wasn't working for her. So I have been working for like a year and a half now, just like trying to get her to let me rip it apart and reknit it, and she finally gave in. So this is the Gift Paloma Take 2, much tighter gauge. I might need to go out and buy some more yarn just to get the length in the body of the sweater, but we will see how that goes. I do also still have a tiny little bit left in stash from this, so that might just be enough to finish it up. We'll see. I'm almost finished with the bust increases. I have just a little ways to go. I think I'm like 2 inches short of where I want to separate for the arms. I am modifying it just a little bit just to make it a better fit for the recipient. And I am loving working with this yarn combo. I loved it when I first knit it too. Fiberco Meadow is, I think, merino, llama, silk, and linen. And then of course, Berenice is mohair and silk. So it's a really nice, warm but light fabric, and it's really nice on the hands. Like there's no roughness, and it glides so smoothly on the needles. It's beautiful. And I tried it on to just see how it was going. And now I kind of want one in this color. This is a really nice combo of like light and dark grays. My partner picked out the colors, and he did a great job. So maybe one day I'll make myself a matching gray Paloma, but for now I'm just working on getting this reknit. I would like to have this done like by the end of the year if possible, which once I'm finished with the bust increases, it should fly off the needles pretty fast because it's just stockinette in the round. And now that I knit continental, I am super speedy at stockinette in the round, like insanely speedy. So yeah, I think once I get to that point, I think it'll really pick up speed. And it's just so enjoyable to knit it, and I'm really thankful that she let me take it apart because I wanted her to have something that made her feel good, you know? So there you go. She's letting me rip it out and reknit it, and that makes me happy, and hopefully it'll make her happy. Okay, remember how I said I was on a real red yarn kick after knitting that hood? And then finishing that little shawl? Doesn't look like much right now, but oops, I cast on again. I cast on for wow, I'm doing a really bad job of holding this. It's all on scrap yarn right now while I do the next part of the instructions, but I cast on another clematis sweater. I have previously knit one. I'll put a picture up here. It was off gauge. Ended up with a very thick fabric, and so it's not exactly the fit that I want, but I still really love it. It turned out really good. So this time I'm doing the opposite thing, and I'm knitting it at with much thinner yarn than suggested, because why would I ever follow instructions correctly? So this is the yarn that I was using 2 years ago to knit the Somme cardigan. Photo up here. And I got through like the whole body. That looked really good. Started on the sleeves. The sleeves for the pattern were like really bulky. Didn't love that. With the silhouette that I had done, because I took in the waist quite a bit to give it more of like a vintagey feel. And the sleeves were just not working out, and I ended up just really falling out of love with knitting it. Nothing wrong with the pattern. It's very well written, like the charts are amazing. And I would still like to knit one at some point, but I would definitely not modify it. I would just follow the instructions, and I think that would make me a lot happier with the final outcome. So anyway, after the 2 other reds that I've knit recently, I just got a craving. I got a craving for a red clematis specifically, and I have a ton of this yarn. I'll just rip out the Somme. This is that Crystal Palace mohair that I also used in the Simple Thing shawl that I showed you. I'm holding it double. Probably should have held it triple, but I am slightly worried about yardage, so I'm only holding it double. So it is a little bit see-through, a little sheer, but I think for the holidays that's kind of cute, right? Like, I'm envisioning being able to wear this like on Christmas Eve to Christmas Eve dinner. I think that would be so fun. I'm addicted to this so far. It's knit up really quickly. I'm filming on a Friday, started this on the Tuesday, and I'm already almost finished with the front and the yoke. So yeah, crazy, but very excited about this. So that's kind of why my Theresia cardigan is on hold at the moment, because I really want to get this done. And also because I have some designing things that I'm working on, which I'm not going to talk about yet, but I'm hoping that I can get the ball rolling so that next year I have my test knits kind of all laid out so that I can get patterns out more efficiently. The downside being that I'm a very slow designer. It takes me multiple samples in order to get my numbers and my understanding of my vision out. Like, I can't just do the math. I need to visualize what the math is doing. So that makes it a little tricky. I'm trying to learn about grading and everything like that, but highly likely that in the future, with some of the designs that I have sketched out, just because of the way I want them to fit, highly likely that I will need a pattern grader. So if you are a grader, or you know someone who is a knitting grader, hop in my DMs. Let me know what your rates are, and what your availability is, and also let me know if you're okay with me just like popping up randomly, because I don't want to put pressure on myself to design something by a certain deadline. So if that's something that's possible, I don't even know. Never done this before. But yeah, if I get to the point where I'm designing these more complicated patterns that I have sketched out and in my head, then I think I'll just I'll avoid the risk of my bad math, and I will just hire someone who is very good at math. And then we won't have any problems. So, holiday clematis, I've just folded it all up here. Really, really excited to get this done. I'm really hoping that I can get it done in time. It's knitting up really fast because I'm hyper focused on it right now. So I have hope. I have hope that it'll be done like really, really quick. And I think I found the perfect buttons. I mean, the buttons that I wanted are from a shop in Britain, and they would highly likely not get here in time for this. And also shipping is really expensive right now, which I think I would just want to save up until I needed like multiple buttons to make the shipping kind of more worth it. So I found the second best perfect buttons at a local shop. I think it's primarily a sewing shop. The photo online makes it look like it's going to be a perfect match to this red. I will be taking this in with me though to double check. But yeah, very excited about that, and I think I can get it done. I think I can get it done for the holidays. So fingers crossed. Okay, the last thing that I am going to talk about is what I'm going to be casting on next. I'm going to show you the yarn for it, and I'm hoping that I can get this spun up caked up today. So it's a gift knit, so I'm not going to say what it is or who it's for, but those are the colors. So this is Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Poppy Rose. My partner picked that one out to be the mohair that I hold with it. I gave him lots of options that would work because he didn't have a visual for this when we went. So I just gave him some options, asked him what his favorite was. He picked this one. And then this is a sport weight from the Red Pansy in the colorway Most Ardently, which, if you know me, you know I love Pride and Prejudice. I even have Most Ardently tattooed on my on the inside of my forearm. And I splurged on this. I got 2 skeins of sport weight and then a skein of cashmere silk lace. And I had a plan in mind about what I was going to knit with it. Can't remember what that is now. Like, absolutely zero clue. But also, the color is not what I was expecting. It's still a gorgeous color, don't get me wrong. Beautiful, love the speckling, can't wait to see how this knits up. But online, it looked quite a bit warmer, whereas here it's got quite a bit more like cooler purpley mauves in there. And that's, again, really, really beautiful. It just wasn't what I was expecting. So I would have been pivoting anyway, even if I couldn't remember the pattern that I was gonna knit with it. So I'm sacrificing one skein. I'm just gonna use this to make something else that's beautiful. And then when inspiration hits, I'll use the other one and maybe hold that one with the cashmere lace as a special treat. So for now, those 2 are going together, and hopefully I can get that caked up so I can cast on soon. Not that I need another cast on. I mean, I've definitely had cast on-itis. Okay, so I think that basically wraps things up as much as I am able to share with you right now. If you want more information regarding pattern releases and WIP progress and all of that stuff, please follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. If you like my vloggy podcast, please subscribe, give it a like, leave me a comment. I love reading your comments. So keep it up. Also, thank you if you do follow me. It means a lot. And hopefully you don't mind my rambling and my really breathlessness. I always talk way too fast and then I feel like I can't get enough breath in. I'm a little out of practice too because I missed 2 months of filming, but it was a much needed break. And then hopefully I'll be able to keep this up kind of throughout the new year because I think we're on the up and up now. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.